Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today we are talking about Accutane. Now, I have always struggled with acne. Even when I was younger, it was always an issue for me. So when I was 14, my acne was so bad. I mean, we had tried all the things that were on TV that you could call in, you know, Proactive, blah, blah, blah. I was seeing an esthetician. I was getting facials every 2 weeks to try to help the situation, but it would not stop. So we had actually read that birth control had side effects that it could clear up your acne. So it was kind of our last chance resort. So when I was 14, I got on birth control, and it just immediately cleared up. It was absolutely crazy. And I didn't have another breakout again until I got off of it, which I was 24, 23. Tony and I were dating, so I ended up getting off of it because I didn't feel like I needed to be on it anymore. And, you know, thinking, hey, I'm 23, I probably am not gonna have acne like that anymore. I'm sure it's like worked itself out of my body. I was wrong. I was so wrong. It came back with like a vengeance. It was terrible. It took up my whole entire face. It was just really hard to deal with. Honestly, every single time I looked in the mirror, all I did was see my acne, and I felt like that's what everybody else saw when they looked at me too. I feel like it was very distracting, and there was just absolutely nothing that I could do to stop it. I mean, I had blown so much money on products that said that it was good for acne and it was gonna help clear your face up and blah, blah, blah. And like literally nothing helped. I changed my diet completely. I went gluten-free, I went dairy-free, I went vegan, I went vegetarian, I went everything, you name it. I tried it and nothing was working. So I was seeing an esthetician. I still do. I still see my same esthetician here in town, and she was peeling me a bunch so that way it was helping with scarring, which was really great because it did help a lot with scarring once everything cleared up, once I got off of Accutane. But before I did that, before I got on Accutane, because that was kind of my last resort was Accutane, before I got on Accutane, I decided I was gonna try the Rodan and Fields Unblemished system because once again, everybody said that it was great and it helped them. And so I tried it. I started it right before I went on a 10-day trip to Iceland. So this first picture is right before I went on my trip, and the last picture is having been on the Unblemished system for 10 days. My face hurt so bad because the breakouts had, I mean, they had like magnified. I don't know. It was like somebody just put gasoline on the fire. It was terrible. So it was after that I decided I was tired of it, and after doing a lot of research with Accutane, I knew all the side effects, I knew all the possibilities of what could happen, but I didn't care. Tony really didn't want me to get on it, but I literally felt like I did not have a choice. I was so unhappy. So I went to my dermatologist and I told her what I wanted. I told her all the things that I had tried and that none of it was helping. And so she said, you are a perfect candidate for it. I do have to warn you though, there's like a lot of things that have to go into it as a female because you cannot get pregnant while you are on Accutane. So she told me that I would have to come in every single month to have my blood drawn so that they could test my blood to make sure that I wasn't pregnant. And I also would have to go online and answer a questionnaire about like my feelings and basically all this like sex ed knowledge about how not to get pregnant because they really don't need to get pregnant. So I was like, fine, whatever, sign me up. So the first thing that they did was kind of ask me some questions to see if I had any depression or anxiety that I was naturally dealing with before I were to get on the medicine. And I guess I passed because they took my blood, and then they told me a month later that I was gonna have to get my blood drawn again. And then if that still came back that I was not pregnant, then they could put me on Accutane. So I did that and I started the medication. Now when you get it, first you have to fill out the questionnaire, and then as soon as you fill it out, your pharmacy will then fill your prescription, and then you have to pick it up within 7 days of answering your question. Otherwise, it'll cancel out the prescription and you have to start all over again, which was like definitely not an option for me because I was just feeling really desperate. So I pick up my medication. Each individual pill is in like a pack that is so hard to get open. So at the beginning of every month, I would just open them all up with scissors and dump them all into a glass jar container so that I could just pick one out one by one instead of pushing it out through the pack, because I personally just had a really hard time getting them out of the little foil pack. I don't know, probably a personal problem, but regardless, it was just way easier for me. So you have to take it every single morning. And I would say the first month was fine. I didn't really see much progress the first month, so that was kind of disheartening, but said she was like, just keep on sticking with it. Like, I promise you it'll get better. So first month was okay. I didn't see a ton of improvement. I was expecting it to be like a magical pill right away, and it wasn't. Second month, I definitely started seeing improvement. The third, fourth month, more improvement, which you can see through these pictures that I will share with you right here. Halfway into the fourth month, towards the fifth month, I started dealing with a lot of anxiety. It would be anything. I would be watching TV and it would be like a Hallmark movie, and I would get so much anxiety about this romantic movie that was happening about just, you know, there's always a plot twist where it's a journalist and she's undercover trying to find dirt on the prince, and then of course they end up falling in love, but somebody wants to uncover her identity, you know, and that kind of thing was giving me so much, like I would be sweating. It was insane. When it comes to anxiety, these are the things that I dealt with. That on a regular basis, kind of heart palpitations, things like that. It got so bad that Tony and I had a trip planned for Spain in March actually. And, you know, it kind of got to the point where I looked at him and I was like, listen, I don't think we can go, because thinking about getting on a plane and if something were to have gone wrong, like if our plane had been delayed and we would have had to call and switch flights and stuff, that was too much for my brain and heart to handle. We ended up canceling our trip and getting all but a couple $100 back, which for me, I mean, I'm really sad that we didn't go, but even now thinking back to how I felt, I'm so glad that we didn't, because I would have been a wreck. But that was pretty much the only thing I dealt with anxiety wise. Now, when it comes to dryness, the first month, your lips are going to be so dry, and I felt there was nothing I could do to keep them moisturized. It was like they were just perpetually cracked and peeling, and I felt really gross because you can't wear like any lip products and anything moisturizing. I don't know, it was just really hard. So I loaded up with Aquaphor. Now my skin on my face never started peeling. It did get really dry, and I noticed my hair was getting really dry. I would usually, if I showered in the morning, by the time that I got home and it was evening, my hair would be so greasy that I felt like I had to take another shower. My face was equally as greasy. I would do my makeup, and then 10 minutes after I'd done my makeup, I was an oil slick. And it was so funny because Tony would always be like, kind of telling me that it was time for me to pat my oils because I was that greasy. Like it was gross. All that really started to go away. Even on the first month, I was getting pretty dry. Now that I've been off of it for a while, my skin has normaled itself out. I can get oily depending on what products I put on my face, and if I don't put any products on my face, I stay pretty normal. Also, my hair, I can go about 3 days without washing it. So I, you know, get away with dry shampoo, which is fantastic because washing your hair every single day just isn't really good for your hair. And I really enjoy the fact that I don't have to wash my hair and blow dry it and all that stuff every single day anymore. That was just kind of a lot of work. So I've basically almost been off of it almost a year now. And I still have issues with anxiety now. I didn't used to get anxiety, but now I do. I used to only get anxiety on the plane, so that I guess kind of scratched that. I did get anxiety, circumstantial anxiety. And now I can't have caffeinated things. I can, but it kind of has to be half caff. If it's full caffeine, I need to be like doing something, and I need to be busy and in a really stable, calm, happy environment. Because if I have any conflict that I need to deal with, it is just very overwhelming, and my heart starts beating really fast, and I mean, it's anxiety. I don't know how else to describe it to you, but it's like everything is going bad. So that didn't used to happen to me, and that does happen to me now. I have cut out, I used to drink regular coffee in the morning. Now I drink half caff. So I take regular caffeine, regular coffee, and then I take decaf coffee, and I actually take the 2 ground bags and I mix them up together. So that way when I scoop it out, it's always like a half caff situation, but it's my favorite kind of coffee. I know Folgers makes a half caff, like already pre-made half caff, but I like Peet's Coffee and Starbucks, so I will take their decaf and their regular, and I'll mix them together and brew them that way. So that's how I have my coffee in the morning, because I just can't give it up. It's like my treat. I don't know. Some people really like to have a cinnamon bun in the morning, where I just really like my coffee and my vanilla almond creamer. that's enough for me. That's my sweet tooth. I hope that this was helpful for you. My advice to anyone who is thinking about getting on Accutane, I would 150 million% recommend it. Although all the things I kind of told you was negative, I will say I do not break out anymore at all. Like, I have the lightest bit of makeup on right now. Like, I don't have any cover up on. I don't have anything. I put, I mix my foundation with my moisturizer and I put that on, and that's literally it. And let's see if I get a little closer here. I do have a little bit of scarring back here. I don't know if you can see that, but I do have a little bit of scarring right here, but that's something that we're gonna be taking care of with microneedling when I can get the funds to do it. But other than that, I mean, I love my skin. Sorry, bobby pin. I love my skin. I feel so confident in it now. I go out all the time without makeup on, and I can look in the mirror and I feel like, wow, it's me. It's not pimples. Especially running your own business. I don't know. I feel like, I know that this isn't true, but I feel like a lot of the times acne can be mixed with like having bad hygiene or I don't know, anything like that. And I am so far from that. Like, I am a very, very, very neat, tidy person. And I wash my face all the time and I love my skin products, but there was just nothing. It was hormonal acne and there was nothing that I could do about it. So that being said, 100% would recommend if that is how you are feeling. The only thing is if you have any anxiety or depression that runs in your, medical history, I would just be really aware of that. Speaking of which, okay, so when you are on Accutane, this is not a lifelong pill that you have to take for the rest of your life. You take it for 6 months and then that's it, and you never have to take it again. So I was only on it for 5 months because I told my doctor how I was feeling with the anxiety and that I canceled our trip, and she was like, okay, that's like not normal, so we're gonna go ahead and you can stop taking it. Just go ahead and wean off of it, take it every other day for the next 2 weeks, and then kind of just wean off of it that way, and you can stop taking it now. And I was like, okay, are you sure it's not gonna come back? And she's like, nope, you've been clear for about 2 months now, like completely clear, haven't had a breakout, clear for 2 months now. So you're good, you're safe. Let's go ahead and get you off of it, get you back to normal. So it took me about 2 weeks to finally get back to normal, but I'm normal again, so that's good. But if you have any other questions about Accutane, please leave a message in the comments below. I will definitely answer them for you. If you're scared, I hope that this better prepared you for what you might expect to have in your life when it comes to anxiety and dry skin and all that goodness. So thank you again for showing up on this Tuesday. And if you guys have any other recommendations on the next videos that we should make, leave a comment in the comments below. Make sure to give me a thumbs up on that little thumb up button. Sometimes I'm just like, what the heck am I even talking about? And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So we'll see you next Tuesday.